What's up, guys? It's me, Pez Flips. Today is a special day. It's a mail day, and let's just get right into it. So this is something that I bought on the Bali marketplace. It's the first transaction that I've ever done, and a little nervous doing something like that because you never know. Are you gonna get scammed or not? But this is something that is not a Squid Industries product. This is just what it happens to be in. I paid, I want to say $165 for this, so you have an idea of what it might be. Feel free to give a guess in the comments. Here we go. What do you think that might be? What does that look like? Very square. Well, guys, it's a freaking Prisma Pro. I'm looking at it right now too. This is the first time I've seen it. Wow. Texture actually pretty grippy. For an aluminum, like, my fingers are sticking into that pretty well. Their actual cutouts are not really too crazy. I'm surprised how deep that jimping goes. Holy cow. That's actually impressive. Now, before flipping this thing, I just have to say, I'm always on the lookout for, a good deal. And I had a hankering for buying a new knife, and everyone always says that MachineWise is one of the greatest of all times when it comes to tolerances, build quality, and price to performance ratio. And who am I as a reviewer to say that I'm a successful Balisong YouTuber if I don't own anything MachineWise? Now, I don't really care for the Prisma. It's a little too blocky for my taste. And while this one is certainly rounded, it definitely feels a lot more blocky than anticipated, but that's okay. I think it offers its own thing. It'll probably be more easy to control doing rollovers and ladders and stuff, and twirls between the fingers because of those edges being hard. There's no sharp edge per se. And again, I'm surprised by the amount of grip. It looks like there's just kind of like raw machining here, but like a slab of aluminum. But yeah, I'm excited. Oh god, I'm excited to open it up. So here we go. Handle weights are in, so I did get this used, like I said. There's a couple of dings, but nothing too crazy, honestly. Like, looks like this guy probably just got dropped on wood or something, maybe concrete like once or twice. You see the MachineWise logo there. I will say that the look is, I actually don't mind it. You see it in real life, or in videos, and for me, it doesn't spark a lot of joy, but in terms of being a performance flipper, this guy is just really interesting because it offers something that not a lot of other knives do, and that's its length. Its length is very long, so it should be able to carry weight a little bit differently, but better, make it a little easier because of that. So let's do a sound test. Pretty sure this guy's dry. Very bouncy. I can't even get the sound test. I haven't flipped all day. I'm surprised it rings, honestly. It's almost too grippy. It's kind of weird. For being dry, I'm surprised by just how bouncy this thing is. I also didn't realize that there was a ring to it, so that's interesting as well. It's interesting because it's like I'm holding such an expensive product. I've held expensive knives, but something feels so premium about this, and having it new, I'm scared to flip it really. But having a trainer is nice. It means I can flip this wherever I want really, and I don't have to worry about that. I think it'll sound a lot better once I get oil in it. But that being said, this thing is still sounding incredible. It definitely feels a lot rougher than anticipated. The edges are not sharp, right? But more jarring. Especially going from something like a Tsunami, which has thinner handles and rounded edges. You can feel that a lot. I'm surprised. People say it's handle bias. It fans well. Let's do a helix. Carries the helix well. Twirls well. Not the tightest chaplain, but a pretty comfortable chaplain nonetheless. I've seen people say that you should use like the inserts on this, and I'm curious to pick them up because they're not that expensive. I might get like one of the fancy ones that Zippy's been making, like with like the colors on it and stuff, and see if I can make that like the pop of color that this guy needs, because being a raw aluminum look, I wonder if that changes the grip too, because it's not anodized, if that makes it more grippy, because I know that certain polish, like certain anodizations can make it a bit more slippy. But yeah, the screw heads are looks like one of those might be stripped, maybe just a little bit, but that's okay. Here, let's go get some oil for this guy. See, my girlfriend's in there too. It's funny because the shutter speed and stuff, sitting you guys on my lap, the shutter speed makes it so dark inside, despite the fact that it really isn't that dark, but it makes me look like I live in a cave or something. We don't have air conditioning at the apartment, so when it does get hot, we like to close all the windows and stuff so we can at least try to keep some of the cool air that was in there before. So I'm putting carbon honey thick in here. You can see it right there. Oh, wrong way. The fan on the bite handle feels a little different. Oh, that was a bite handle. The indicator is nice. It's not like overly aggressive, but it's more, I wouldn't say sharp, but more rough than you'd expect, which I think is good because it's uncomfortable, and I think it should be uncomfortable as a bite handle indicator. It is really light, so that's interesting. Obviously aluminum is a lighter material. The oil definitely does improve this though. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a wonkiness between the bite handle and the safe handle in the way that they fan. It's nothing crazy, but it feels like the angle of the bite handle when you fan wants to go like this, whereas like the safe is a bit more flat. So you can hit a pretty smooth, non-wobbly. Yeah, it feels like the bite handle when you fan wobbles just a little bit, which is okay. I mean, it still hits those fans pretty well. And when you look at like a design like this, you know, you think like, how the heck does it have enough weight really to do that? But I imagine it's this right here. That's what's doing a lot of that heavy lifting. But let's see if I can just do a controlled fan. Yeah, you can see it. Like, it does handle it well, and it's a bit more predictable because of that. Obviously, this is it's like a slight handle bias is the general consensus on this guy, so I'm not really too worried about that all too much. As long as it hits its fans okay, I've definitely come around to knives being more handle bias. So when I purchased this on the marketplace, I did something that I wouldn't recommend other people do. Thankfully, we had a really good Redditor that I shopped with who was really nice, really professional, But the one thing was, I did it through Venmo. And the thing about purchasing through Venmo is that you don't know, there's no like refund. So if you pay someone, they really can scam you. Obviously the rules in the sale, like the Balisong sale subreddit, are that you use like, I don't know, it's like GS or some shit like that, and PayPal. And I don't have a PayPal account that's set up for my personal stuff, so I wouldn't really be able to use that. Probably if I get more into like purchasing off of that, it'll be different. But honestly, like, you know, this is one of the best ways to pick up a knife, despite the fact that you have to have some trust, because there's a lot of features in place that allow that to be easier done than you'd think. Like in the subreddit, they have like the number of transactions that that person has successfully done, and like that could be used to like build reputation. And then buying using those mediums like PayPal, like I said, like if it does turn into a scam, you can ask for a refund. So I'd say that, like, if you're talking about like getting a good deal, it's definitely gonna be the place, because, you know, you think about like cars, right? They lose like half their value off the lot. Not every single knife is like that, and it depends on the market for that knife. If there's a lot of demand for it, sometimes it can be oversold. But as long as you have an eye out for them, you can actually snag some pretty good stuff. I'm now approaching like wanting to get knives like within like the $200 range, just because I want to have a decent flipper that performs around that price range. You know, it's like the next step up. Honestly, I don't know if it really is worth it, but it's something exciting. There's like certain designs, I would say, I don't know if they're worth the stock price, but you can find them for much cheaper. And, you know, some people, if they're wanting to like get some fast cash, they'll sell it at such a markdown. And if you're there fast, if you see it before somebody else, you can snag a really good deal where other people can't. I would say I'm pretty happy with this. It's definitely something to adjust to. I think mostly the blocky handles feel a little weird. I'm glad that it's more rounded than the original. I don't think I would have enjoyed the original that much. But also just to have something that is part of MachineWise history. You know, to have something that they've made that they don't make anymore. Like, I got this now, and who knows, if I keep this guy pretty safe, I can probably resell him for more than I paid. No diss to the guy I paid it off of, but this is an appreciating asset. You know, it's a collector's item now, considering the fact that it's no longer in production, which gives it a lot of value. You know, it is something that not everyone has, and the longer time goes on, not necessarily the less people will have it, but less people will have it in as good of a quality. I mean, I would say this is like, if this was CSGO and you're like a weapon, like a skin, I'd say it's probably field tested. Like there's a couple of dings here and there, but nothing too crazy, considering the fact that it's also raw aluminum. The dings aren't as noticeable because it doesn't expose more aluminum. It just it just shows the same color, if that makes sense. It doesn't knock off any anodization, obviously, because there's no anodization there to begin with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me open this and my first impressions on it, and I'll be flipping it for the rest of the day, seeing what I think about it, posting a clip probably later as well, seeing what I can do with this guy. But really excited to have this guy in my collection, and to finally be part of the MachineWise club and experience these, as the cool kids say, goated tolerances. Well, I said that and I just absolutely did an awful sound test. So yeah, hope you guys have a good 4th of July, because that's coming up soon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.